let's talk about some musical interpretations that's going to help guide our practicing. So a couple things that I want you to notice in the overall shape of this phrase. It starts relatively low, and the composer starts to bring us up slowly, and then as we ascend to the peak of the phrase, we move into this chromatic fashion where we get to the top, and then we will slowly start coming back down before we cadence back in our home key of G. While we're ascending, the composer also encourages us to crescendo through that, and we should take advantage of that as we get to the very climax of this phrase and play and sustain our fullest sound at the very top before we pace ourselves as we get down to the bottom. And then lastly, the last two bars he puts in this ritardando. So not only does the pitch and the dynamic descend, but so does the tempo before we are really settled on this last G. While I want you to pay close attention to the articulations as we move through this, I'm going to utilize a practice method that is seemingly contradictory that we'll talk about in a second. I want to encourage you to practice this glist all the way through every single note. And the idea is so that we learn to lean on that exhalation. Lean on it. Again, this doesn't do anything if the air is not doing its job. This way, I'm letting my air do all of the work. Now that I'm used to leaning on my fuel, I can now play much more specifically what the composer intended by placing individual air vents where they're marked. Now, individual air vents does not mean short. They can be long, and they should be. By the time we get to the last measure, rather than thinking that we need to hold on to this sound, hold on to this dynamic, and hold on to this last note, think of just letting it go. Just exhale through the phrase. I encourage you to take full advantage of this etude in particular to showcase how beautiful and gorgeous your sound is and how musically and lyrically you can sing through your instrument. Again, if you have any questions at all, I'd be happy to get back to you. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below, or go ahead and send me a personal email at dwatt, that's DWATT, the number 3, at uwyo.edu. Happy practicing and the best of luck.